Come on in. Hey. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Thank you for stopping by. It's Dr. Barbara Swinney, and we're going to school tonight. Last night we made some decisions. Tonight, we're probably going to make one of the biggest decisions that you can make when it comes to healing, leading, and leveraging. It's like sweet, sweet honey on my lips. It's like a sound of a symphony to my ears. Come on in, everybody. We are streaming live. This is day 8 of our 15-day live series of healing, leading, and leveraging. We're here and we're ready. Today we're going deeper. Yesterday we talked about making decisions and the importance of deciding what you want. Tonight we're going to talk about another very important decision that you need to make. I would say that this decision, the decision that you make tonight, is probably one of the most powerful decisions that you can make in your life. Come on in, like and share the live. Make sure you're following me. Come on in, TikTok family. This is day 8. I'm super proud of myself for going live on TikTok 8 days in a row. My first time going live on TikTok ever. Everybody come on in, like and share the live. We're going to go deeper tonight. This is day 8 of our 15-day live series, Healing, Leading, and Leveraging. Tonight we're going to be talking about forgiveness, how to move on, how to let go, why you need to let go. So like and share the live. We're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. We're super excited. If you're on TikTok, make sure you are engaging and you're going up to the top of the screen and getting your daily heart me. Share this live out so that we can get more traction and more people can get in here and go deeper. I'm Dr. Barbara Swinney. I'm a life and leadership coach and coach trainer. I'm the founder and CEO of Deeper Women Lead Global. I help women in leadership heal, lead, and leverage their stories and strategies for life, love, and leadership. Leveraging for legacy, leveraging by writing a book, leveraging by building a brand, by building a business, leveraging for legacy, using all of the stuff, all of your lived experiences, all of the things that you've gone through as your platform. It was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you. So come on in, like and share the live. Invite everybody that you can. Tell them to come in here. We're going deeper tonight. And as soon as Holy Water finishes, we're going to jump in. We have about 30 minutes tonight. We're continuing our lesson on healing, leading, and leveraging. Last night, we talked about the D in my deeper framework. D stands for decide. So last night, we talked about deciding what you want. Tonight, we're going to talk about a different decide, but this is going to be probably the most powerful decision that you can make on your healing, leading, and leveraging journey. Thank you for liking the live. I see the hearts going up. Thank you so much for coming in and tapping the screen. And we're going to get started right now. Okay, I'm Dr. Barbara Swinney. Alexa off. I'm Dr. Barbara Swinney. I'm a life and leadership coach and coach trainer. I am the founder and CEO of Deeper Women Lead Global and the creator of the Deeper Framework. And it's really a way to help us heal, lead, and leverage our stories to build a brand, leverage your story to build a platform, to create a movement, to create income, to leave a legacy. That's why we're doing this work. For these past 8 days, we've really been talking about identity and getting to the bottom of yourself. In a 6-month period of time, I went through a divorce, a demotion, sold a house, bought a house, sent my first child off to college, and started this life and leadership coaching business, and decided that it was my job, my obligation, to help other women in leadership heal, lead, and leverage. 8 years ago, I released my first book, It's Always Deeper. And Deeper, this little book, I thought I would have a book launch, but I didn't just want another run-of-the-mill book launch. So I asked 4 of my other friends in leadership to come and share their stories at my book launch. And that was the birthing of Deeper Women Lead Global. We've been going strong ever since. So I'm super excited about the work that I do to help other women use their stories. All is not lost. There is power in your story. Anything that you don't have, you don't need. We do have a 3-day live intensive coming up. It's called Leverage What You Lost, Reclaiming the Woman Behind the Story. And it is actually based on my most recent book, Leverage What You Lost When the Pain Produces a Platform. But guys, the distance between these 2 books, this book was written 8 years ago. When I wrote my story, I was writing for healing. This last book that I wrote this story because I learned how to leverage the healing. I learned how to leverage the story. So if you're in here, take a seat. I hope you have something to write with, because tonight we're going to be making another big decision. Last night we talked about deciding what we want. The D in deeper stands for decide. For those of you who don't know me, let me just explain what the whole deeper framework is. So the D stands for decide. Decide what you want. Decide who you want to be. It's about clarity of vision, purpose, and identity. The first E is for examine. What's happening in your life, or what practices have you adapted that have contributed to your confusion around what it is that you really want? The second E is oh my gosh, why am I losing it? Decide what you want. Examine your life. Eliminate the barriers. Eliminate the barriers. Now, that's funny. That's exactly where I got stuck. I got stuck in chapter 3, eliminating the barriers. I was trying to write the book, and my writing coach said, okay, it's chapter 3. It's time for you to tell the story. And I got stuck. I got in my head and started thinking, oh my gosh, what if they don't like it? Oh my gosh, they're going to know this, and this about me. So I had to eliminate all of that toxic thinking so I can move on to the P and establish a plan of action. How am I going to move forward? How am I going to get to my next level? After everything that I've gone through, how am I supposed to get there? And then we're going to evaluate our progress, making sure that what we wanted from the beginning, we still want, because how many of you know that as you heal, as you step into who you truly are, sometimes what you want changes. That's just a fact of the matter. And then we get to the R, and the R stands for results. Realize results. Let me take 1 minute and see what's happening in the chat over here. Donovan, let me know if I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. If you are on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, make sure you are chatting it up over here. I'm streaming from multiple platforms, so I'm trying to monitor the chats for each. So make sure you're typing in the chat to let me know that you are with me. Tonight, last night, we made a decision. We were deciding about who we wanted to be. Tonight, we are going to decide to forgive. Remember, we are all about the transformation. We are all about healing, leading, and leveraging. In order to make a bona fide leverage, in order to become a more effective leader in your own life, how many of you know that we've got to heal? We've got to heal all of this stuff that's holding us back. And forgiveness is a part of that healing. If you're ready to let some of this stuff go, type ready in the chat. Ready in the chat if you're ready to let it go. Ready in the chat. If you are a believer, not only is it beneficial to forgive, but it's a mandate. It is the only scripture, or one of the only scriptures, that come with conditions. One of the only things that come with conditions. That means if you don't forgive, then your daddy is not going to forgive you. And how many of you know that it's not worth it? That's simply not worth it. So we're going to decide to forgive. Forgiveness is not a feeling. It's not something that you just long to do in your heart because you want to get them back. In our humanity, we want to kick them in the throat. In our humanity, we want them to suffer. I had to say to God, okay, God, don't make him lose his job. I'm sorry, God, that's wrong. We want them to suffer. We want them to have this. We want them to feel what we felt. But in order for us to go to the next level, remember I told you, you can't go to the next level. What got you to this level is not going to take you to the next level. So at this level, you were able to function in the unforgiveness. Not at the next level. You won't be able to function in the unforgiveness at the next level. Look, I brought props for y'all tonight. Let me show you what holding on looks like. So we're trying to go deeper. We've been talking all of these 8 days about going deeper. Thank you, Augusta. About going deeper. We've been talking to you about discovering who you are, reconnecting with who you are, reclaiming the woman behind the story, but you're still holding on. We're trying to go deeper, but you're still holding on. You're still in unforgiveness. You're still mad that somebody hurt you. I'm not saying that they were right. I'm not saying that they get off the hook, that they get away with any of it. I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is, as long as you're holding on, you're tethered to the very thing. Thank you so much, Augusta. You're tethered to the very thing that trapped you in the first place. Let me back up. Not only are you tethered, you're choosing to be tethered. You're making a conscious decision to be tethered. As long as you're holding on to the divorce, to the infidelity, to the demotion, as long as you're holding on to that stuff, we're trying to go deeper, right? We're trying to go down, and you're literally suspended in the air because you're holding on to the thing. Well, tonight we're breaking the cord. It's time for us to break the cord. It's time for us to forgive. Type ready in the chat if you're ready to let go and go to your next level. Type ready in the chat. I want to see it. Ready in the chat. Thank you, Augusta. Augusta said, yes, ma'am. Augusta said, ready. JD. Hi, JD. Tell me if I'm pronouncing that correct. JD says, ready. Diana says, ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're rocking and rolling. Tonight, we are deciding to forgive. Remember, we've been talking about the conscious and subconscious mind. It is in our conscious mind that we decide. Your conscious mind tells us what to do. So we're going to take all these thoughts captive, all of these toxic thoughts that we have about ourselves or other people, because we want to clean that up too. We want to clean up what we're thinking about other people as well, because all of that stuff gets buried in your subconscious mind, and then your body starts behaving at the will of your subconscious mind. We want to take control. We want to take control again. JD, remind me of who you are. You said, you're asking, do I remember you? Remind me of who you are. I'm sure I do. We've got to let this stuff go, because guess what? Because we're going somewhere, and you can't go. I can't let you hold me back. So it's my responsibility to help you get free so I can be free. When we get together, we can all be free. City View. We are from City View. Yay! I miss y'all so much. I do. For those of you who are new to me, this is probably my 90th day retired. I was an elementary school principal. I've been an assistant superintendent, a teacher, all the things over the past 31 years. And about 90 days ago, I decided to retire and jump head on in my business, Deeper Women League Global. And I'm super excited about this new phase of my life, but I completely miss the kids and all of the staff at City View. So shout out to City View Elementary School. And we're going to get back to this forgiveness. All right. Are y'all ready? Thank you. All right. Let me explain to you what forgiveness is not. A lot of people don't like to forgive because they feel like it's letting somebody off the hook. Let me tell you this. That thinking, that's really your ego talking. That's really your ego not wanting the person to get off the hook. And it doesn't always have to be a person. It could be a system. It could be an entity. Some people have church hurt. Some people have work hurt. Some people have relationship hurt. There is a such thing as betrayal trauma. That's when the person that you felt like was supposed to love you and care about you and take care of you betray you. But even that stuff, if we're going to go to the next level, even that stuff, we have to let go. Now, Lily, hello, Lily. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for sharing the live, Genesis. Thank you, everybody. Oh my gosh, I got so much love over here on TikTok. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you guys for coming in. Listen, you could have stopped by any live tonight. You really could have, because there are a ton of them out there. But you stopped by here to be with the B. Swinney. Thank you so much. And we are going to school tonight. Here's what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not saying that it didn't hurt. It doesn't mean that it didn't hurt. Somebody's asking, why did I retire? I was there for 31 years. I think it was time. It does not mean that it didn't hurt. That's not what I'm saying at all when I'm saying that it is time to let it go. It's not saying that it was okay. It's not saying that what they did was okay. We know it was wrong. Trust me, I want to fight them for you. We know that. We get that. But remember what I just said? As long as you're holding on, you cannot hold on and be free at the same time, because you need one hand to hold on. You can't hold on and be free at the same time. It sets limits on you. So no, that doesn't mean that it didn't hurt. It doesn't mean that it was okay. And it doesn't mean that you got to let them back in your house. It doesn't mean that you got to let them back in your car. It doesn't mean that you got to let them back into your circle. Forgiveness means that, you know what? I am choosing to cut the cord on whatever this situation is, on whatever this person is. I'm choosing to cut it. Because as soon as I let go, then my hands are free. I have my freedom back. I've got the freedom of my body. I can go anywhere I please because I have forgiven. I've cut the cord. And forgiveness doesn't mean pretending like it didn't happen. Oh, it happened. Oh, you were there. Oh, you did me wrong. I'm just going to choose to move on. I'm going to choose to cut the cord on the hurt. I'm going to choose to heal, because everything starts with a decision. Healing is a decision. You have to engage with the healing. I don't know how many of you are acquainted with the scripture of when Jesus was about to heal the man who had the withered arm. First of all, he asked him a question. He said, do you want to be healed? He didn't just come in there and say, let me heal you. He said, do you want to be healed? Then he required something of him. Do you want to be healed? Well, stretch out your hand. He asked permission. He asked, what do you want? Now, what are you willing to do to get there? I want to write the book. Are you willing to forgive? I want to start the business. Are you willing to forgive? I want to build the platform. Are you willing to forgive? Forgiveness is the most powerful decision that you can make. And when I say forgive, forgive all of it. Decide to forgive everybody for everything, past, present, and future. Just go ahead and say it right now. I forgive everybody for everything, past, present, and future. I forgive everybody for everything, past, present, and future. If anybody knows anything about having to forgive, I'm telling you, it's Dr. Swinney. For those of you who know my story, my career and my marriage joined hands and turned their back on me. While I was still healing, I was still responsible for leading. While I was still healing, I was still responsible for leading beside the very people who hurt me. The only way that I was going to do that, I knew that if I wanted my life to go higher, then I was going to have to go deeper. My marriage ended. I had a major shift in my career. And if you guys know anything about the rise of a professional woman, she is all about her career. It's a part of her identity. And my identity was shaken. I had to figure this thing out. Again, who is Dr. Swinney without it? Let's back it up. Who is Barbara without it? I had to strip myself all the way down to B. Don't even say Barbara. Just call me B. Because I had to get all the way to me so that I could build my character, so God could build my character, so I could even sit on this live today. Let me read some of the comments. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, who is that saying? Now I don't want to go to school because of you, because you left. Oh, that's so sweet. Go to school though. Forgiving. Oh, we're getting ready to talk about that one, Donovan. Forgiving ourselves can be our biggest setback. Yes. You know what forgiveness does? It allows you the space. It gives you enough space so that you can become an observer of what happened. Because you're not so tied to it, you can become an observer of what's happening. 6-7, we miss you. Get all my kids on here from my school. Scarlett from Miss Moore's class. What are y'all doing? Miss Moore, miss you. Miss you too. Oh, y'all are sweet. Well, y'all get in here and get this forgiveness too. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see y'all. Okay, let me get back to my thought. Thank you, Donovan. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you. Learning how to forgive. That's it. Learning how to forgive. If you don't unlock yourself from the thing that you've become so entangled with, you'll have some success. But there's nothing like the success that you have on the inside. The other night I said, you'll feel productive when you haven't even produced anything. Because inner success is far greater than outer success. So tonight we got to make the decision to forgive. Now, you had every reason to be angry, to be bitter, but why would you when there's something so much greater on the other side of your healing? Sometimes when things start to fall apart, it's not necessarily that things are falling apart. A part of it is you're changing, you're growing and evolving, and the system that you were in, you're outgrowing that system. So though it feels like collapse, it's really you coming into yourself and you're no longer tolerating some of the stuff that's happening. I said the other night, after 3 weeks, after being promoted to the top of my career, after 3 weeks of riding around, I said, is this it? There was absolutely nothing wrong with the position. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the job. It was me. I had outgrown it. But from the outside and from where I was in my awareness at that time, it felt like things were falling apart. But it was me. I was evolving. And that's what we have to do. We have to continue to evolve. If you don't have paper, please write this down, because now I'm getting ready to take you deeper. There are 3 levels of forgiveness that you must walk through. 3 levels. We talked about 1, forgiving others. Forgiving others. Sometimes that's really hard to do, especially if you have to see them every day, if you have to work with them. You have to constantly relieve it or release them, release the action constantly. Once you say that you forgive, that's a part of your engagement with forgiveness. Once you say, you know what, I forgive them. Because forgiveness is not a feeling, it might not even feel like it. You might want to slap them every time you see them. But you have to remind yourself that I have forgiven. I have moved on, because what you're doing is you're retraining your brain. You're engaging in neuroplasticity. You're retraining your brain, you're retraining your thoughts, so that eventually you'll see that person and you won't have the urge to slap them. So the first level of forgiveness is forgiving others. The second one, this is a very, very hard one. It is forgiving yourself. There was a time when I was coming to the end of my marriage and experiencing work hurt. I didn't trust myself. I was like, what? Like, why didn't you see any of this? I started thinking that I wasn't smart. I started having negative thoughts about myself. Let me tell you something about thoughts. I'm going to park it right there. This is how dangerous your thoughts are. This is how dangerous and beneficial your thoughts are. It only takes 63 days for toxic thoughts to become embedded in your subconscious mind. 63 days. So if somebody says something bad about you for 63 days, imagine if every day a pimple came on your face for 63 days. Every day you see a new pimple for 63 days. By the end of those 63 days, your face will be covered in pimples. You'll start to see through the pimples. You'll start to see through the lens of a pimpled face. Bye, Scarlett. You'll start to see through the lens of a pimpled face. The good news is it takes 63 days for a toxic thought to become embedded. It also takes those same 63 days for you to put something different on top of it, for you to change that thought. So you have to forgive yourself. Number 1, forgive others. Number 2, forgive yourself. And number 3, forgive the version of yourself that didn't know better. I thought I was just being a good wife. I thought I was just climbing the corporate ladder. That's the level of awareness from which I was working. You're just doing the thing that you believe should be done. So don't hold that person hostage for doing what they felt like needed to be done. Everybody's coming from their own level of awareness. Everybody's coming from what they know, what they've experienced. And because you expected the system, the person, the entity to behave and act a certain way, when they stop acting like that, it threw you for a loop, because they're no longer playing the part that you expected them to play. Hi, sis on a mission. Welcome back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to learn how to block the bots. I am. I haven't learned how to do that yet. I'm not that savvy yet on TikTok, but I will ask my mentor how to do that. Thank you. She said, please block these bots. I know, right? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for coming back, sis, on the mission. You've been on my mind, girl. So the 3 levels of forgiveness are: forgive others, forgive yourself, and forgive the version that didn't know better. Some of you are still holding her hostage. Press the name and it'll say block. Okay. Thank you. Look, all right, Dr. Rachel. Forgive others. She's putting them in the chat. Forgive others. Forgive yourself. Forgive the version of yourself that didn't know better. You were just doing the thing. You were just doing what you thought needed to be done. Now, I want y'all to say this with me. I want y'all to say this, and we're going to close with this. I release you. You're releasing the person. I release you. I release it. I release the pain. I release the expectation that it should have been different. Because a part of the healing is just you letting go of how you thought it should look. Release the expectation of how you thought it should look. And tonight, we're deciding to choose us again. We're reclaiming the women or the woman behind the story. We're reconnecting with ourselves. We've done everything for everybody most of our lives. We've raised the children. We've been the good employee. Now it's time for us. Hello, Mr. Krebs. Thank you. Now it's time for us. Release you. Release it. I am released to be free. I choose me. All right, Lily. I choose me. Mr. Krebs, title gifter. Thank you so much, Mr. Krebs. Listen, y'all. No shade to Facebook or any of those other platforms, but my TikTok family that I've never met, they are showing up for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But Mr. Krebs says, but I choose you. I choose you too, Mr. Krebs. We have to decide to forgive. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Barbara Swinney. I'm a life and leadership coach and coach trainer. I am the creator of the Deeper Framework. The Deeper Framework is what we'll be using during our 3-day live, April 14th, April 15th, and April 16th from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We're going to have 3 power-packed days where we are studying the science of identity. We'll be doing some of that work. Thank you, Mr. Krebs. We'll be doing some of that work. We'll be allowing you the space to get to you. So that's the night that you tell the children, do not bother me between 7 and 9. And if you're VIP, you get another hour. Don't come in here between 7 and 10 because I'm going to be getting to me. You're going to walk away with a plan of action. You're going to walk away being clear about what you want. You're going to decide what you want, reconnect with yourself, and then we're going to start creating a plan so you can align your values, your practices, and all of your actions so that you can get the thing that you want. So you can write the book, so you can build the brand, so you can establish the platform, so you can create legacy. We've been hanging out in these stories for way too long. Now it's time for us to get to work. If you have not already registered, go to deeperwomenleagueglobal.org/events and register for this 3-day event. 2 hours a night. We're going to sneak away and get back to ourselves. 2 hours a night for 3 nights. We're going to sneak away and reconnect with ourselves. Because some of us as women, we haven't even asked ourselves, what is it that I really want? We haven't even had the time or space to really ask ourselves, what do I truly want? And even though we've covered this during the live, we've talked about why you're stuck, but we're going to really dig into why you're stuck. We're going to teach you how to unearth those toxic thoughts that you've been allowing to be embedded in your mind and come out of the toxic tree to a healthy, growing, living tree that's able to breathe oxygen into the world. Unstuck right now. All right, Mr. Craig. Mr. Krebs says he's unstuck right now. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by this live. Tonight, we decided, the first D in deeper, to forgive. Untether yourself from all of this toxic stuff, because after all, it's just stuff. It's very hard to walk in authority when you're tied to stuff. It's very hard to walk in the authority of who you are when you're worried about what Lisa is thinking. If God says, if you ask me, I will give you the nations. You think I'm getting ready to let Lisa get in the way of my nations? No. It's time to let Lisa go. It's time to forgive. Again, I'm Dr. Barbara Swinney. I'm a life and leadership coach and coach trainer, creator of the Deeper Strategy, founder and CEO by Lisa. That's right. By Lisa, founder and CEO of Deeper Women Lead Global. I help women in leadership heal, lead, and leverage their stories to build a platform, to build a brand, to build income, and to create legacy. Thank you so much for stopping by tonight. Freedom, freedom. Who sings that so I can play that song before we go out? Who sings that, Lily? You know that? I bet Mr. Craig's knows. Freedom, freedom. I can't lose. I want to play that. Oh, that's Beyonce? What's the name of it? Oh, Alexa, play Beyonce's Freedom. Let's see.
Freedom by Beyonce, featuring Kendrick Lamar on Amazon Music.
I knew Lily would know. Alexa, turn up to 3. Alexa, turn up to 5. Hey, 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 that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Stop by here. Thank you so much to my TikTok family. You guys are amazing. This is just my 8th day on TikTok. I think I'm getting it. Facebook. Emma. Hey, Emma. It's time to forgive. Yes. Let me put you up on the screen, Emma. Emma says it's time to forgive. Yes. So we can get free. We need to break free from all of the toxic strongholds so we can do this thing together. Listen, guys, we've got work to do. We don't have time to be holding on to stuff. All of that stuff is just weighing us down. Let's pack light. Pack light. Brush it off. Brush it off. For the stuff you can't brush off, go to therapy. Get in my 3-day intensive. Let's dig deep. April 14th, 15th, and 16th. We're going to be here from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, going deeper, getting to our identity. Alexa, turn down to 2. Alexa was losing a little bit. Continue to make yourself proud. Yes, I'm glad you came across my live as well, Donovan. Please come back. Thank you so much. We're going to end the live now. I'll see you back tomorrow night. Go over to deeperwomenleagueglobal.org/events. Sign up for the 3-day intensive. We're going to be doing some identity work, looking at the science of identity so you can understand why you're doing the things that you do, so you can untether yourself from these toxic thoughts and toxic behaviors, so you can break free and go and do the thing that God has put in your heart to do. We've got the world to save. And I need help. I need help. Good night, sis, on the mission. Pack light. That's right, Mr. Kreds. Pack light. Good to see you, Emma. Bye-bye, everybody. See you tomorrow. I'm going to keep it running. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Oh, my gosh. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm getting ready to push this button. What they say? You ain't got to go home, but thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.